Uh-oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Don't shoot.
Oh. Morpheus. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I keep doing that joke. I'm sorry. Hey, stop eating with him, Jack.
To my dinner table.
Shout out to my patrons. What is going on? I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. Shout out to you all on YouTube as well. I know it's when this is coming out, there's probably been a little bit of gap between Hannibal content. It's really just because I need to record more to put it out. Like, so sometimes I know I don't even notice, and the next thing I know, it's been like 9 days or 10 days since I've released an episode. So I apologize for that. But I'm going to try and get ahead of that. With that being said, I was informed that Amazon has the list guide. Well, it doesn't have a guide, but has the episodes sequencing up for whatever reason. I did look it up thanks to one of my patrons told me which episode was right, and I even went and looked at the guide. So it's really supposed to be episode 5 that represents episode 4, and episode 4 is truly episode 5. But I think even then, watching them out of order, I've heard is not too bad. But there was some issue with why it didn't air in the U.S. at that time. With that being said, man, I'm ready to get into this. I forget what our girl's name was, but Hannibal has gotten to her mind as well too, and he's just become everyone's friend. Everyone leans on Hannibal. Everybody needs his help or his assistance. Not needs, but seeks out his assistant, which is funny enough because he's a doctor, he's a therapist, right? People seek him out anyways, but he's able to completely disarm people and just invade into their psyche and make them feel like he is someone that they need around them. Master Manipulator, I'm ready to see what he's up to this episode. I've loved the way they've handled a lot of the characters. Very similar to Interview with the Vampire with some of the themes, but I just feel like Hannibal he tackles some of those things slower, where Interview with the Vampire was, it's going 100 miles per hour every episode. They're giving you a lot. Hannibal seems like we're creeping into your brain. I need to latch onto you slowly. So let's get into this episode.
I want to go home. You do this a lot?
Oh yeah, this was horrible. Oh yeah, her
Kill
friend
that girl. Butcher them.
You're the one who called the house.
wasn't even butchered.
And I'll keep yours.
Don't keep his secrets, girl.
At night, I leave the lights on. I look back from a distance. The house is like a boat on the sea.
You stood in the breathing silence of Garrett Jacob Hobbs' home. Tell me, Will, did they speak to you?
Noise and clarity.
You could sense his madness.
Garrett Jacob Hobbs, FBI.
See, yeah.
Because you couldn't say.
Because I felt like I killed her. I felt like we were doing the same things at different times of day, like I was showering or sleeping.
And see, that's the dangerous thing. He's so able to get into these people's skin that it's we've talked about it a lot, but it tears his brain apart. An interesting thing that he said was he felt like he killed her, and like it's like double entendre is not the right thing, but it's like he felt like he killed her because you can interpret it as, well, I mean, he told us, but like, was he like just late? So like that makes it feel like he killed her, or is it because, oh my gosh, I'm running out, or is it just because he can also feel that stuff,
Like, we're becoming him.
Yeah.
I know who I am. I'm not Garrett Jacob Hobbs.
Maggots. Holy shit. They gotta stop putting the Will out here, dude. Come on, Jack. Even the age of the meat.
Family dinner. I wasn't invited. I'm the guest of honor. If you don't eat your growing foods, you won't get any dessert.
See, yeah, he's going.
Leaves the table.
See, it's been progressive, but we're even seeing Will become more animated through the recreations. Sometimes it from what we see in the first couple episodes, it was just actions. Like he had the shovel in his hand or something, but he would almost look like, why am I doing this? But now the actor is doing such a good job of portraying the almost, I don't want to say it's satisfaction, but he did say he feels like he can get close to them. So he's almost mimicking that person's satisfaction, or is it his own satisfaction Like the looks on his face, the way he's being so animated and taking the time to talk to the girl about like just extra like you ain't have to do all that, you know. So I really like that touch and how we've seen the progression of the, I want to say, corrosion of his psyche.
Controlling the Turners with threats of violence. With the exception of Mrs. Turner, who dies last, I shoot Mrs. Turner.
What do you see, Will?
Morpheus. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I keep doing that joke. I'm sorry.
Family values.
Whose family value?
Whose family values? Like that line almost ties to what I feel like I was saying, where whose are we seeing? He's at Will's house again. No. Oh, it's not Will's house.
Pillars of the community, 3 children.
-1.
Disappeared last year. Last confirmed sighting had him boarded. When misery reigns, it pours.
Norman Rockwell with a bullet.
All right, any signs of forced entry?
No broken windows or torn screens.
We rang the front door.
It's somebody they know.
If they aren't frangible, it shouldn't be a problem.
When was Jesse abducted?
A little over a year ago.
Her scar.
Sharing will help normalize.
I'm not normal. Some of these women aren't even sharing. They speak in little girl voices, telling everyone what was done to them without saying a word about it.
That's not necessarily true.
Hi,
Do you have an appointment?
do you have a beer?
Interesting day with Abigail?
Yeah, the grief work, trauma intervention. I think she might be wrestling with a low-grade depression.
Perhaps it's time Abigail's released from clinical treatment.
Released where?
She should be out in the world.
Abigail's in no condition to tackle real-world issues like
I'm
where's she
not
gonna live?
suggesting abandonment.
Hannibal, this is a girl who was very attached to her parents. You stepping in as a surrogate would only be a crutch.
I defer to the passion of my esteemed colleague. Passion's good. Gets blood pumping.
I'm glad we didn't have guns in my house. Sisters just to get him out of the bathroom.
I like having a big family.
Let me guess. Only child.
Why'd you say that?
Leave him alone.
Family friction is usually a catalyst for personality development.
I was the oldest, so all the friction rolled downhill.
I thought middles were the problem. Middle's the sweet spot.
Always trying to figure out where they fit in.
Yeah, the middle. Get him.
Politicians.
That's what he get for with you.
Lousy ones.
What kind of victim forgives the killer at the moment of death?
It's because they're related. It's attached to that son.
Tell me about your mother.
Some lazy psychiatry, Dr. Lecter. Never knew her.
An interesting place to start. Both my parents died when I was very young. The proverbial orphan until I was adopted by my uncle Robertus when I was 16.
Something so foreign about family.
See how he's getting him. See how he's getting him ready. I think you'll see that me, you, and her all have something in common. Like he's, the word is grooming, but I just hate. I don't like always using labels. He's getting him ready for like the play that he's trying to get him into. You know.
You created a family for yourself.
Family is stray feeding them while I was away.
Oh.
I was referring to Abigail. Tell me about the Turner family. Were they affluent, well-to-do?
Oh, they lived like they had money, and we were poor. Loxley and Greenville to lake boats on Erie.
Always the new boy at school, always the stranger. A modified Buddha Noir?
That's look good as. Hey, stop eating with him, Jack.
To my dinner table.
Well, we're gonna have to polish up our act. We can't have you diagnosing our marital problems all in one fell swoop.
Rabbit.
You should have hopped faster.
Yes, he should have. Unfortunately for us.
That's creepy crawly, and they put the jump scare with it. I usually don't get lit, but that was one. He should have hot faster, and they show what he's eating. Jack, you gotta stop eating at this motherfucker's house, bruh.
Our friend Will seems haunted today. Children killing other children is not that unfamiliar a notion to Will.
You still suspect Abigail and Hobbs in their father's crime. Children transport us to our childhoods.
Jack.
Simpler times in boatyards with Dad.
One pair of size 6 sneakers from the Turner house. Tread on left indicates uneven leg length.
Is that unusual? Not in a 12-year-old. Growth plate's all out of whack.
How did Jesse Turner turn out? No one's seen him in over a year.
I extrapolated the present height and weight from abduction stats. Even with the usual growth spurt between 11 and 12, he'd be 4.5 feet, 80 pounds tops.
Stood out the Turners, including Jesse's, so we're down to 3 unsubs. Sneakers are sizes 7, 3.5, and a boy's 11.
The Lost Boys.
I think I've found one of them. In some cases, it does not. For some killers, biting may be a fighting pattern as much as a sexual behavior.
Okay, class dismissed. Everyone out. What did I just say? Let's go!
Jack, dog. Come on, man.
Making it difficult to provide an education, Jack.
His name is Connor Frist.
Another kid.
Another missing kid. Vanished 10 months ago. Case was never solved.
How many kids in the Frist family?
3, just like the Turner family.
This is a pattern.
We're ready to go when you are, and you're ready to go now, so let's go.
You're expecting a crime scene.
I'm not jiving with the way he gets at Will, like. Oh, whoa.
First saving Mrs. Frist for last. Same as the Turners.
Not exactly the same. Something went wrong.
Shooting her once wasn't enough. First bullet travels beneath her scalp to its final resting place, base of her neck.
And it still didn't kill her.
Hydrostatic shock of shell hitting skull would have caused brain damage.
Her body went into convulsions.
Shot her again.
Why were they talking about sexual assault earlier? Is this killer saving victim kids and teaching them to become basically assassins of their own family after they've taught them some different shit?
So who is our additional corpse in the fireplace?
Yeah, because they got roasted.
He'd been prepped to shoot his mother, not watch her suffer.
Connor couldn't put his panic back into bottles, so he got shot too.
Disowned him.
I don't want to see you cry. Wow, what a... Dude, everything on this show, even things that I don't catch initially or talk about, it's they say they disowned him, right? He couldn't deal with what he had to do to his mother. And then we enter this scene right here with the line, I didn't want to see you cry. Like, they made sure there's all kind of just Easter eggs and different little things in the show. It's insane.
Don't be sad about Connor.
I guess I couldn't make him understand. The family you're born into isn't really family. Those are just people you didn't choose. You have to make family. That's what we're doing. We're making our...
She's pretty famous too.
We're her family.
The family you think is family is just a stepping stone to real family. Are you feeling okay, sweetie pie?
Oh, this is the...
He's fine.
Yeah, she's taking all these kids and making them kids. Oh, I'm so worried about who she is as an actor. I didn't listen to the dialogue well enough. And like the dynamic is played like, so of course the oldest one that's been with her the longest is almost course correcting the other kids more to her thought process, right? Dude. Yeah, she's training these kids to their own family members, but Will mentioned something about sex. So it makes me feel like maybe she was assaulted by her family and she's seeking out other kids that may have been in similar situations and making them go back and kill their families.
Even if it is to say goodbye, because we're your family now, Christopher.
He's this artist that does micro sculptures, like putting the Obamas in the eye of a needle. I guess archers do the same thing, right? What are you looking at?
Both these kids are small.
You think there's a connection? Another thing about Willard Wiggin, he had a lonely childhood. He used his tiny sculptures as an escape.
Who's Willard Wiggin?
Price got a hit on the ballistics matching program he's been running on the 2 family murders. The bullet that put Mrs. Frist out of her misery matches 3 used in a murder in Bangor, Maine a year ago. The mother of a 13-year-old boy shot to death with her own gun.
Shoplifting, no malicious destruction of property, no assault, no battery. He was kind to animals, for God's sake.
The firearm says we're looking at Peter Pan to our Lost Boys.
But it takes a sophisticated level of manipulation to convince young boys to kill their families in cold blood. Been out in the world.
Beat himself?
Thank you so much. Are you feeling okay, Hannah? You have a
This is
fever?
right after I watched that episode of The Pacific where Dude was beating himself too.
Oh, thank you. He's never done this before.
but you shouldn't feel embarrassed.
Or is he scared of him? I need more clues.
Please, come in. That's Christmas come early.
It was for Abigail. Set when I bought it. Magnifying glass. Fly tying gear.
Our good friend Dr. Bloom has advised against taking too personal an interest in Abigail's welfare.
Boys, I'm angry because I know when I find them, I can't help them. I can't give them back what they just gave away.
Family. Abigail's lost too. Yours and mine, so help her find her way.
See, there's something I want to say, and I don't know how to exactly word it. We got some clues into, it wasn't directly about Hannibal, but people, their lives, and how if you're missing certain things, how you kind of reach for some of those things to find them. I believe that true for Will, but can that also be true for Hannibal? Like, I don't know if he's an exception to the rules. I don't know if he's an exception, or does he also seek this relationship with Hannibal, with Will and Abigail because something in he even said it. You know, he was orphaned for a while until he was 16. But I don't know how much of what he says I can actually trust. Like, I don't know if he is being genuine or if he just knows nobody can go fact check him. I don't know, but I think it's a nice play on the episode to show all these family dynamics while they're also seemingly building their family as well too. But it leaves the question, why does Hannibal, well, for me, why does Hannibal feel the need to build this family? Like, he doesn't want to hurt Abigail. He doesn't want to hurt Will, but he sees them as extraordinary people that have these abilities or these gifts similar to his, and he wants to be around that, feel more involved in that. Is it comforting to him? What is it specifically? Because he can also seem so detached from everything. I don't know exactly what's going on in his head. I mean, we're not supposed to all the way, but like, they're giving us some crumbs. But like I said, it moves a lot slower than a show like Interview. And I mean, and I don't mean that as any type of negative on the show. It just means a lot of the details you have to kind of remember longer for payoffs or payouts, or they can almost seem like they're just laced under the story as you're watching it go by. They want you to focus on the killing and stuff like that, and then like on a rewatch you notice, oh, they've been talking about this shit the whole time. It was just the woven in threads. But I want to be able to pull some of those open and understand more. So I'm very intrigued with him, but I just need more context. And then I don't know if the context I'm getting can be trusted because it's Hannibal.
I don't think I'm allowed to leave after I climb the fence.
I've made arrangements.
Where are we going?
Home. My home. I thought you might enjoy if I cooked for you. I'll have you back before bedtime.
Can I spend the night? I have bad dreams.
Tell me about your bad dreams.
Marissa was sending me picture texts.
How you left him.
You stabbed him one time.
Dad, I'm afraid that Marissa's gonna tell everyone I killed him and they'll think I'm just like my dad. Sorry, in group.
Abigail.
I just have to get used to lying.
It's sad because what he has successfully done is cut her off from feeling as if she can lean on anybody else, truly speak to anybody, you know, similar to how Lestat did Louis in the height of emotion, in the height of what's going on, and he's just able to process and make these calculated steps and just make her feel like I'm your only option. Like, you have to be here with me. You can chill with me. You can do this. Like, he just got her at the right time. He got her at the right time. He could basically say anything as long as he was calm and she was gonna believe it, you know. So I hate that for her character. That she feels like that she feels as if she can't speak to anybody when she truly could, but that fear of people seeing her the way they see her father, or actual jail ramifications, right? Because there is a scenario where she tells her whole story and it doesn't pan out great for her. And then you have Hannibal here too, who's a credentialed doctor. Even if she was to say he did something, who the f is gonna believe her over Hannibal? Like, come on. You feel me? We know he's twisted, but on the outside looking in.
And when you're with me, you don't have to lie about anything.
How I could live with myself.
And when you're awake,
I'm awake. I know I can live with myself. Does that make me a sociopath?
it makes you a survivor.
That motherfucker. He gets so many lingering door shots.
I would certainly feel safer if you were in the FBI. protecting my interests.
They wouldn't let me, though, would they?
You're not your father's daughter. What if it weren't so painful anymore? Have you ever tried psilocybin? There are those psychiatrists who believe that altered states could be used to access, which is why we need to supplement them with positive associations. No more bad dreams, Abigail.
You want me to do drugs?
I want you to do this drug with my supervision. Where it's safe.
He's so good, dude. The sad part is this might actually help her not have the nightmares, but it's all to play into his hands later.
Bangor, Maine, Stamford, Connecticut, and recently Reston, Virginia.
This places each of the murders approximately 500 miles from the one before it.
Right.
Pattern when the murders were weeks apart.
Other patterns, too. Our shooters are minors, middle children.
We know they're moving south, so that means we want to cover the border of North Carolina and Georgia. 200 miles of North Carolina.
Yeah, why would he even have pushback on that? That seems like an obvious pattern. So yeah, we're trying to deduce where the could end up at next, man.
What kind of kid does this?
And what kind of kid follows a kid who does this? Capture bonding. Passive psychological response to a new master has been an essential survival tool for 1,000,000 years. Your breakfast.
So she has to replace him. As we go to another bomb-ass looking meal. Oh, she's tripping.
Dr. Bloom said this was okay.
Not at all. We often have a difference of opinion.
More secrets for us.
Infusing psilocybin into the bloodstream before psychotherapy. Psychological trauma is an affliction of the powerless. I want to give you your power back.
I don't feel so good.
Now to wash over you.
You're making breakfast for dinner?
The chef in Spain called Muron.
I hate that he's like charming a little bit. Like, shut the up, Hannibal. Like, don't be joking, smiling, laughing, cooking breakfast for dinner and shit. Stop. I don't want to chuckle with you.
It's not only biochemical, it's also psychological.
Sausage and eggs was the last meal I was having with my parents.
I know.
That's why he made it.
The meal you're having with me.
Without the interference.
Positive reinforcement for it.
Our missing kid's a boy. He'd have a vocation. Something inventive or mechanical.
Why do you think these kids are susceptible to C.J. Lincoln?
Because our boy may have a brother, but their ages or their interests keep them apart. So he's a brother without a brother.
They're killing the mothers last.
There's an adult with some formative sway. It's a woman, a mother figure, I think.
Family can have a contagion effect on some people.
This show speaks in such beautiful ways as the scene that they're deconstructing, trying to figure out what this lady is doing now that they have the piece of this, and we're talking about family. It also ties back into exactly what Hannibal was speaking to Will about and what he's doing with Abigail in this moment. Influencing, making them sure they have similar behaviors. Hannibal's even going as far as have breakfast with, having the same meal, the last meal that she had with her family again, just to reestablish that as a positive thing and not something negative in her mind, while putting her under the influence of. This show is elite storytelling. Elite. It's elite. It's hard because I just watched something else, so my brain was a little like off, but like, dude, I mean, I'm sure I could go back and catch probably 50 things I didn't catch, but there's a lot here.
Burst with love for her.
Where's this kid's parents?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Uh-oh. So now we know. Let's stop this before it happens. And that's why there's no pressing to get in.
Hi, Mom.
Because they see their family. Where is she at? It's finna get crazy.
Oh my God.
They're too late. They're too late. Ooh, they put up with the M16s and pumps. Hopefully they would set up a perimeter around the city as well too. Uh-oh. Don't get the other little boy too. Go get the little boy.
Don't shoot.
Oh.
It's okay. You're home now. Put the gun down, Christopher.
She's there. Why Will gotta keep getting in these situations? I knew she was behind that door.
Please.
Woo! Take the gun out his hand. Don't try and understand her, Will. Don't even look at her. Don't look at her.
I don't think you're gonna go home for a long time. You came here to kill your family. That's all anybody knows. Well, you're gonna have to talk to a lot of people about it.
I understand why the show would have this. Ain't no f***ing way Jack needs to be the first person this kid's talking to right now. No. Like, that can't be how that would actually happen. Obviously, I don't deal with any of this shit at all, but I feel like they would have some type of person involved that would kind of be knowing the situation. They would have been telling people the information so they know, hey, we might need a person who specializes in this on scene. So if we do catch these kids and they're going through whatever trauma this lady has put them through, we can have somebody there to speak with them. Not Jack. As much as I love Jack, no. Not you. Not you.
That they weren't my family. That we had to make our own family. And you don't know what it's like. My real mom.
But first, I need you to talk to me.
Big deal about common courtesy. I'm a little taken aback. / a lot taken aback. My patient out of the hospital without my permission.
But don't put me in this position ever again.
You have every right to be upset with me. I overstepped my bounds. She's in the dining room.
Often am. Have to be more specific. Sedative, what did you give her?
I only gave her half a Valium, but she may be a little hazy.
Hi, Dr. Bloom. Hello, Abigail.
What the f is going on here?
Expecting me? Hannibal made breakfast for dinner. Busy family.
And then we go to him after speaking about family, him not being able to have kids. Oh, this is crazy. Let's take a second to talk about, did Hannibal, I guess he knew he was going to come. She was going to come there. Did he set it up in a way that she would also be able to help Abigail visualize the family setting?
I think it's too late for us to have kids.
Oh.
It is for me.
Was he too busy with his work? Said he didn't have time for it because that's all he was focusing on? I'm making some very bold guesses, but another great episode. I liked all the family elements, the manipulation of scenes that we seen from Hannibal and how he went about addressing his family that he's trying to make of him, Abigail, Will, and I don't know if he wants Dr. Bloom in it as well too, or if he was just using her to help him set up that image for Abigail. She is completely under his spell as of right now. I feel horrible for her character. Then Jack and a lot of things that Jack was going through and how he, dealing with the kids and how that made him think about, his life and if it was too late for him to try to have kids, and he speaks to his wife about it and she rolls back over and doesn't look at him. I'm guessing it's a huge guess, but it makes me feel like, just from based off how his character's been this entire time, very focused on the job, very trying to get stuff done, even making other people sacrifice their well-being, mental well-being and stuff like that. Probably tried and true. That's for him himself. Probably was like, we can't have kids right now because I need to focus on my career, focus on my job. And that's why she was saying it's too late for me. It's like, basically like, I've been asking you about this shit for years and you waited, and now you want to have some kids? What are you talking about, bro? Stop. I like the kid aspect of that sounds weird. I like the aspect of introducing the kids into the show and how that played into the dynamic of the overarching points of this episode. A great entry. Shout out to my Patreons. We can discuss more in the comments if you guys like. Enjoying this. I'm gonna try and get quicker at releasing these because I really do enjoy the show, and I know because I didn't release for a second, people are like, dang, did he stop? Did not want to do them? I love the show. It's a great show. With that being said, like I said, shout out to my Patreons. I appreciate you all so much. Shout out to the YouTube gang. Y'all will probably see this at the beginning of November or something. And that's it for now. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope y'all have a great day.